Hello, how's everyone doing? Welcome back to my channel for another 1/6 scale third party review. Today, Gambit from Soosoo Toys, or as they call him, Kajun Card Dealer. Soosoo Toys always have quite interesting names for their figures. Anyway, here it is. It looks like it's a limited edition of only 450 pieces. Let's open it up and see what we got inside. Before moving on, let's just take a quick look here at the art box. We got here Kajun Card Dealer and with our figure here with 4 aces in hand. Looks quite nice, this art box. You can see here limited edition. They say it's only 450 pieces. I don't know if it holds true or not. In the side we got Kajun Card Dealer, in the down the same thing, and then as usual in the back we got those warning and notice from Soosoo Toys. As always, Soosoo Toys bring us here a background display for our figure, in case you want to use it. A very nice design here of our Gambit throwing the cards. And inside you will find 2 layers, one layer with our figure, some hands and accessories, and other layer with more hands and the display base and what seems to be his silver staff. I'm going to take everything out, display it in the light box, and we will check them closely. Here we have all the accessories that comes with our Soosoo Toys Gambit. As you can see, there are a lot of hands, totally 10 pairs of hands, but we start here first with this kinetic charge. You can see 3 cards being thrown out. Looks quite nice, the painting and the color on this. This one actually has the hand sculpted into it, so you just need to fit this on your wrist peg and it will look perfect. But the coloring and the material they use for this looks very good. I really like this effect, and for posing it will look awesome. We got as well other kinetic charge, but this one is a bit more subtle. You can see the cards going around all this charge, but looks quite nice. There is no any support for the hand, at least from what I'm seeing from here. I think you just need to figure it out how to use it with holding it in the hand or something like that, but this as well looks pretty cool. Passing then now to the hands, here you always have 2 options. You can use the gloved hands or you can use the purple translucent hands. These are the gloved hands and I think they look pretty nice. This black color, very shining with some wrinkles, really nice painted. I really like the details that Soosoo Toys lately been applying even to the details in the hands. Take a bit of care because the hands are a bit stiff, you need to work a bit with them. Then we got those purple translucent hands. I really like the grading they did. You can see the purple starts to fade until reach the point of the fingers, and I think it's a very nice touch. The paint looks quite clean, everything looks very perfect in these purple hands. You got as well his Gambit signature hands holding the card. As you can see here, the purple starts to fade until reach the point of the fingers, which I think looks really cool. Then we got, of course, his silver staff. His silver staff is made of plastic. It's not heavy at all. It's quite easy for you to hold it, but I think it's accurate. I'm not sure. I'm not very familiar with Gambit, to be honest with you, but I think it looks quite okay and very similar to the one from Sideshow. Then of course we got the hair piece. This hair piece we will look later with the head sculpt. And finally we got a lot of playing cards. I think they pack it this way. It's better than have a deck of cards that we will mess all the art box. So this way you just use the ones you need and save the other ones. Finally we got our display stand, as the same one as Soosoo Toys always does, with X-Men logo in the front. Here we got the purple grading that looks quite cool. You got a pole and a grabber as well. Everything looks okay. Let's take a look now at our figure and the head sculpt. Checking first our Gambit head sculpt, which I think looks very well done. The face details, those eyes with that red detail looks really amazing. I really think they nailed this head sculpt pretty well. The hair looks very well done. The hair shape is amazing. It's very thin, so please take care when you handle with it. but even the ears detail, they look pretty cool. I think for the head sculpt, when you have it in hands, you can really appreciate the work that Soosoo Toys did with it. I really think this head sculpt looks amazing. Their work lately, they are really killing it. As for the hair piece, it's quite easy to remove as it is with a magnet. As you can see, once you put it in place, it will pop right in and will stay in place without any problem. With this head sculpt, you don't have any restriction in the movement because the hair is all up, but with the other head sculpt, as you will see later, the movement is a bit more restricted. Anyway, when you change the hair piece, you better use two hands and do it slowly, or else you may scratch the head of your Gambit. With this hair piece, the coat is a bit more restricted because the hair falls down. But anyway, I think this hair piece looks quite nice as well. I know some people prefer Gambit with his hair. I prefer the other one, looks more cool, but this one, the hair detail looks quite nice. No any problem in the painting. I really think they did a good job. And anyway, it's always better to have two options, even if you are a bit restricted with this one, but you have two options. You can choose to use one hair piece or the other one. So I think it's always a win for us as collectors. Passing now to the coat. The coat is made of some kind of pleather, a bit thick. I'm not very worried with the coat and I really like the weathering they did on the coat. You can see here in the arms, all this weathering really looks amazing. The weathering goes well in the collar part. All this weathering looks very well done. You got the belt as well, and you got the weathering going in the left arm. In the back is a bit more clean, but in the down you got some weathering. It's difficult to show on camera, but you really have some weathering on the down, and you got a bit of wiring so that you can model the coat as you want. The wire is not very strong, but it's okay. You got here some details on the wrists as well. I think overall for the coat, even the collar, you can move it pretty easy, so that's why I'm saying I'm not very worried with this pleather, because it seems a pleather that will pass the test of time as it is a bit more thick than we normally have. Checking now our Gambit suit, which really looks very good. You got here this armor that is made of hard plastic with a very nice paint, a very nice shading paint into it. All the details are quite clean. I don't see any problem with this painting from the front. In the back you can see a lot of details as well, and with a nice paint application. The only thing that worries me, to be honest, is the material they went with the inner suit. Is this kind of pleather is a bit more thin, and there's a bit of restriction there. Once you start to push the arms, you really can see the material starts to give in. So I'm not going to push too much, but the color of this pleather and with these stripes, it looks really cool, but for the material, I'm honest with you, I don't know if it will handle a lot of dynamic poses and how will we handle the time. Here then we got these knee pads that are made of hard plastic, we got the silver boots that look very well done. The painting, all the details are amazing. Again, you got here a separate boot so that you can do a lot of poses without any problem. But for me the problem is just the pleather of the suit, because once you open the legs, once you start use the arms, you really can see the material give in, and I'm not sure if with a bit of hot temperature in your place it will not start to flake. So I will always recommend you to be careful with this kind of material. But I think it was the only material and maybe the best material for this kind of suit. For the articulation, you can see it's quite good, but I really don't want to push too much because I have it just yesterday. I don't want to break the figure that is completely new. I will just do some normal poses with it, not push too much, because I don't want, again, to damage my own figure. But here it is, this is the suit that Gambit comes. I think it looks good, as long as you don't push too much and take care of his suit. Here it is, our Gambit from Soosoo Toys. I'm really surprised. This figure really looks amazing. You really don't need very dynamic poses for him to look good. With some simple poses, you really can make this figure pop in your collection. If you are an X-Men fan or if you are a Gambit fan, I think you should not lose this one. That's all for today. I will see you in the next one.